So I've gotten some positive reactions about some of my response videos that I've been shooting, and I've only shot a couple of them, but I love response videos. I've got a couple other YouTube channels I'm obsessed with, and they're always responding and reacting to things. So I think it's kind of fun. And one of our team members here, a former teacher, got me on a site which was called Teacher Secret. So what I'm going to do is I had them get me some secrets and I'm going to respond to them. And they said, here's what they prepped me for. They said, okay, this is what they asked me. They said, judge whether or not the teacher is a little whiny, whether or not like they're just venting, or whether or not it was a real problem with either a bad parent or bad leadership at their schools. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of judge these things as if I'm the judger. I don't know why I decided to take this role, but it'll be fun. So let's kind of get into it a little bit. So here's the first one. I haven't read these yet, so I might get caught a little flat-footed. All right. A student, not mine, shat in my closet at work. I think they mean defecated. Okay, shat. Yeah, defecated. I'm pretty sure her teacher knew about it. After I found it, the teacher and the principal stared and laughed while I cleaned it up. What? I'm going to take all these as true. I'm just going to take all these as true. I could imagine this could happen, but a student, not hers or his, it doesn't say this is a man or woman, but a student went and defecated in their closet and they just watched it happen. I think I would probably send all my students to defecate in that teacher's closet. Like every single one of them, I'd line them up to do this. That is bunk. And frankly, I get how the coworker, maybe they don't have good relationships, but that principal, the principal saying, a great leader would have like cleaned it up with you. A great leader would have said, man, let's all clean this up. Hey, that's your student. Come on, your responsibility. You should have been watching him and like, yeah, it's your closet. So let's all be a team and like clean up this mess together, go get a trash can. And I'm assuming they didn't do anything. They laughed. Bad principal, bad leader. Stop it right now. All right. So that's my first verdict. So that's 1 point for the teachers right now. I think I'm going to do a point thing on this. 1 point for the teacher. I think the teacher was in the right there. All right. So let's do another one here. Last year I quit my public school position and I switched to private school because an 8th grade boy told me I could take a quick pic of his DICK after I asked him to draw a quick pic about a passage he read. Since he was a striving reader and needed accommodations, when I told my administrator, he said, you'll just have to get used to it if you're going to teach middle school. He was just kidding. Well, I think this one's a little bit more balanced because you're going to have to get used to it, but it doesn't mean you have to tolerate it. And those are two vastly different things that just drives me bonkers. Yeah. Kids are like, my daughter started getting exposed to the phones and the pictures of the and I like, honey, have you seen these? Like, you're going to have to get used to it as a young teenage girl. Unfortunately, do you know how to handle it? Do you know how to respond? So I'm going to give this one to the teacher too. So that's 2 points to the teachers because the teacher should not have, I'm going to assume it was a woman here. Maybe it was a male on male. I don't know. But she doesn't have to get tolerated. She's going to have to get used to it. Yes. But tolerate it. No. Did the administrative person give any courses, lectures, coaching on how to do better dealing with this situation? Because it would have caught me flat-footed. So I think that's 2 points to the teachers, 2 points to the teachers, and 0 for leadership on this one. Ooh, all right, let's do another one. These are secrets. All right, so okay. So here's the next one. We literally had 0 safety drills all year, and we're told to lie if anyone asked us. I really hope that this is not, I hope this one's an exaggeration. I hope it's not true. I hope that, please tell me this isn't true. Please tell me that I get limited resources and all that stuff, and you have all this curriculum. And I imagine that I get the pressures of leadership, and they're getting all these rules and all these things that you have to teach a student, and you need every day possible to do this. But you can't ask your teachers to lie about this, and you still have to do it. I don't know what to do here, man. This is a train wreck across all boards of it. It's not just hard on the teachers. It's hard on the students because they don't get the actual safety drills. And it's hard on administration because they probably have all these pressures to get all these core curriculum things done. I hope that that's what's going on here right now. I'm going to wash this. I'm not going to give points to anyone here because I find this to be so sad. And this is really that lack of support that we have for we probably put too much responsibility in our public schools and we don't give them enough resources to do all the stuff necessary. I mean, how could they not do drills? This one's freaking me out a little bit. I'm going to move on. All right. So here's the next one. I think I got to come up with a voice for this, right? On Friday, I don't know why I think that's a teacher's voice. On Friday, the principal calls me into his office to advise that he received an anonymous report from a parent who stated she doesn't think I'm fit to be a teacher. Okay, I mean, I think so far, like, that's the parent's prerogative to, like, I find the anonymous thing, maybe they don't want their child to be, like, attacked or, targeted or anything by a teacher that gets upset by this. But okay, so the principal, so far, you get a report. I bet they get lots of reports. I bet my daughter's staff got reports on me being a bad parent sometimes. So, but anyway, so the principal told me that I have to be careful of the nature of things I post on Facebook. Well, so far that's true. That's absolutely true. He said the lady had sent a screenshot on Thursday of a post I had made in private moms group asking for recommendations for a good wax baller, specifically for a Brazilian wax. But the post was from last year. Oh, okay. I got a lot to say on this one. First off, there's no such thing. Look, see this private moms group? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as anything that you post on the internet as private. All right. So that's bunk. And you ought to be teaching your students this too. And there are repercussions for actions. Yes, there is freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequences. And the freedom of speech in the Constitution is really only about from the government. Only the government, you can't, the government has to allow free speech. Your school doesn't, your boss doesn't, your spouse doesn't, your kids don't. There are repercussions to actions. And so I'm embarrassed. I don't know what a Brazilian wax is, right? I don't know what that is, but it's probably some sort of wax and it's from Brazil. And I think itsy bitsy bikini. So I'm pretty tight waxing, I would figure on that one. And it doesn't matter if it was last year. It doesn't matter if it was 3 years ago. You posted it. It's not a private group. You shouldn't have done it. So look, I think that the principal in this case did their job. And so I think I'm going to give it 2 points for the teacher now and 1 point for leadership. I'm not going to give it to the parent. I don't know if they were stirring the pot, but anything you post online stays forever. You better be careful and you need to start learning those things. So I'm going to have to give it to admin. I'm going to have to give it to the leadership right now. I think that the principal did their job on this one. All right, let's do another one. And so I'm going to try to position what a messy way I do this. Okay, here we go. Teacher's voice. During class, a third grade behavioral student was non-compliant and in front of 19, 18-year-olds yelled, "I'm going to shoot you in the head." Admin response, he didn't mean it and sent him back to class. You can't do that nowadays. I don't understand. Like, I don't know when this occurred. It didn't say this happened like 8 years ago or 12, 15 years ago. This happened 15 years ago. I get it. Probably didn't mean it. Angry, but there was a 6-year-old that shot a student just a couple weeks ago. A 6-year-old that shot a student. Leadership, you don't get to just sweep this under the carpet. You don't get to act like the kids didn't mean it. You got to start taking this seriously. And I didn't say, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh my God, we got to go lock the student up because he did this." It says he has behavioral issues, but we got to deal with those behavioral issues. And we got to deal with them in a real way. And this is not cool because what's going to happen is your teachers are going to boogie. They're going to leave to a place where they feel safer and where they feel like their leadership is protecting them. And this admin didn't protect the teacher. It just very flippant. I'm going to assume this is years and years old, even though it was just posted in 2023. This was posted in 2023. These are all recent ones. That's what my team said that they were going to try to play with me on, like recent ones. But this is not cool, and this is garbage. 3 for the teachers, one point for the for leadership. All right, boy, these are kind of making me sad a little bit. Let's kind of keep rolling. All right, here we go. I'm currently the only IT person for a 4-campus school and a teacher for a middle school. So they're doing IT and teaching. I announced in mid-July that I would be leaving for a new job in mid-August. And instead of hiring a new person, I'm being replaced by an IT company and parent volunteers for my class. On top of that, my executive director is demanding I show off tech at an open house for a new school he is opening a day before I leave. I'm sorry, I don't understand the problem for this. People are replaced and outsourced with vendors all the time. This happens. I mean, frankly, as a teacher, I want you teaching anyway, not doing, part-time IT and teaching. But, I don't know how big this school is. I don't know what the resources are. This stinks. I'm sure that every company, every school district, everybody would like to have more resources than they can utilize. Everyone would like to have a full, vigorous IT department and full-time teachers and support teachers and assistant teachers and intern teachers. We can't have it all. And this is the fight. And this is the struggle that so many schools are having out there is they don't have enough resources for everything they'd want. I'm sure the administrators are doing the best they can. This one says it's an executive director. Didn't they say that? So this doesn't sound like a public school. This sounds like a charter school or a private school or something else like that, or maybe a private school. And so they've got the resources they've got. And if they can outsource the IT to an outsourced company that's going to do a better job more cost effectively, I got no problem with that. And so that's another point for admin in this way. They're doing the best they can with the resources. I'm going to get these points. I'm going to have to keep a ledger next time. I think is it 3-3 or 3-2? I'm going to say it's 3-2 right now. No, this is 6. It's 3-no, because I didn't do 1 point. So it's 3-2. I'm gonna write this down, guys. I'm gonna do the teacher. I'm gonna do better at this for you. I promise. In the future, but I think that's 3-2 because I gave any points to anyone for one of them, right? So let's hit another one. An active. Okay, let's do this. We gotta tolerate this stuff. So here it is. An active shooter training this week. They suggest that all teachers buy this for themselves, and this looks like a prep kit. There's a first aid kit, and there's a knife. I don't know what else is in it. So it's active shooter training, and they asked. I think it would have been better if they provided this to the teachers, like if they paid for it, because teachers have limited salaries and don't have a lot of money. But like I said, we're all struggling for a lack of resources, and we need to go out there and try to get more money coming in for these schools. And it's a shame that right now probably all the classrooms need something like this. So I think I'm going to give that point to the administration. They don't have the money to buy it themselves. Maybe they should find the money. But I think that's 3-3. I think that they're actually suggesting, I hope they weren't being tongue in cheek on this, but having a kit and a things ready to go in case of emergencies is a good planning tool. That's not a problem. I don't see the rub with that, but maybe I'm missing something. It could be the old military guy in me. I think that everybody should be prepared. So, all right, here's a new one. The next one. A 4th grade student told his friends that he was going to kill me, cut me up, and drag my body around the school. I wrote him up. The AP, assistant principal maybe, the AP talked to him, and he was back in my class within 10 minutes. He said he was sorry. That definitely goes to the teacher, because nowadays we don't get to act like people aren't going to do things they say they're going to do. If somebody tells me they're going to shoot me in the face, I am going to believe them. I'm going to believe them. And I'm going to make them really work hard to undo that. And it's not going to be a 10-minute conversation. Like, we're going to have to bring the parents, and let's assume he didn't mean it. Let's assume that this 4th grade student did not mean it, and he was exaggerating and being a little jerk or whatever it was. But we're going to make it be so painful for that student. He's going to think twice before he runs his mouth again. But we're going to have to really get at the bottom of it and find out whether or not this is real, because we just can't tolerate this behavior anymore. And here's the rub, man. I know that the free-range kids and their lawnmower parents and helicopter parents and parents make an excuse for the kids all the time. But if you want to keep your best teachers, they're not going to tolerate this kind of lack of support. They're not going to tolerate it, and they're just going to leave. And this is so uncool. We cannot take people's safety for granted. Safety should be job number one, and it's clearly not. So that one went to the teachers, and I actually marked it down. All right, let's do a couple more. All right. Ooh, this is a long one. I'm going to have to get my glasses out one day. Here it goes. My 3rd year of teaching, I had a devastating miscarriage. Oh my God, she bled out for 10 days. It was bad. She was hospitalized for 6 of those days. Oh my goodness. My principal called me on day 5, still in the hospital, and told me it was time to stop being sad and get on with my life, since I already had a 2-year-old. He then called me out for dropping the ball on a volunteer picnic that happened while I was in the hospital, which I was voluntold to organize. As they had till last minute potluck, which she was supposed to coordinate, I guess. She quit her job that day. She didn't even care about my future, the impact on the family. And this is what happens, man. I mean, I see the sides to this. I mean, the principal's freaking out. They got their job to do. They got a lot of students and a lot of teachers got to maintain. And it's a lot of pressure on that side. I don't want to take away leadership. There's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of responsibility. You got to keep the whole trains and the ships and everything moving on track and keeping it going. But man, and once again, God, I can't even imagine this occurring, but we're going to take this on face value and believe everything that she wrote. And this is devastating. And if you're wondering why, if you're an administrator, if you're a principal, if you're up in leadership and you're wondering why your people are leaving, you ought to call them up and do kind of a after action, a wrap up report, an exit report, and say, why? And if you're hearing stories like this, you need to figure out who's doing it and you need to get rid of them or your good people are going to leave you. This is clearly for the teachers. The teacher, this is devastating. And the teacher did, I guess, everything they could. And I understand why they left. I mean, I get it. Golly, I hope they're not also depressing after this. Oh my gosh. I need something that is a little bit more fun. And I got another assault one. I got another safety violation. All right, let's read it. One day I got assaulted by a parent while walking to my car. I called my administrator to let me in the building for safety. Since the assault didn't happen directly on school property, he refused to let me in. What? What do you mean they refused to let you in? What do you mean refused to let me in? I don't believe it. I'm sorry. This is one I can't believe it because there's something a little off on this thing. Like I know people love to exaggerate and some people love to get attention and they want to bitch and complain. If you got assaulted, why don't you call the police? Like the police, even if it's on campus, not on campus, I'm going to encourage you, call the popo, call the police, get in there, get them to help, right? If you went and you were being assaulted and you went back on and somebody blocked the door, get that person fired. Get this person fired. And since the assault didn't happen on school directly property, I thought this was going to say that they couldn't do anything about it. But what do you mean refuse to let you in a building? Like you were banging on the door and they're standing there waving at you? I cannot think that another human being did that. Maybe they called them. They said they couldn't run back. I have a hard time, but this is what was in my head, my visual, is they're standing there going, I can't let you in. Maybe there's something else here and this is not thorough enough, but I don't believe another human being would just block the door and be like waving at them as they're being assaulted. Maybe I'm missing something on this one. And oh golly, I can't do all these. Some of them are freaking me out a little bit. Let's do another one. I gave that. I'm not giving any points to that one because I don't understand that. So let's do this one. All right. Try to relax a little bit here, Bri. All right. 2 weeks before school, our superintendent decided that he thinks the school needs more color. We had to pick a color for our doorway and we needed to paint them before school starts. So what? I mean, I think that we secret shop a lot of schools and we go around and look at them. Color's always great. People love color. People love to see things and make it vibrant and bright. And it didn't say 2 minutes before school or even 2 hours or even 2 days. It said 2 weeks. What's the rub with a 2 week? I think I'm giving it to the superintendent on this one. I don't understand. I know you got a lot of other things going on, but it's a door and I know you got other things going on, but he didn't give you no notice. 2 weeks notice is pretty good notice for something like this to get I don't understand the rub for that. I don't understand why that's a big problem. I don't know what other pressures they didn't indicate on this thing. I can only take it for what it says. And it seems like they should want to, when I grew up, I guess all the doors were colorful. All the hallways were colorful. It was 3,000 years ago. But nonetheless, that seems like a cool thing to do in 2 weeks notice. Sounds like plenty of time, right? So I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give this one to the leadership on this one. I think that seems like a reasonable request. And okay, next, my husband is a high school dropout and makes $50K more than me. Yeah. I don't know what the relevance of a high school dropout is. I've seen dropouts make more with hustle and energy, especially if they're in sales or something like that. They can make a lot of money. Now, it does stink that our teachers aren't paid more, right? This is not the administration's fault. This is not the teacher's fault. This is society's fault, right? So I'm going to give a point to administration and to the teachers both on that one, because I think we need to get the teachers paid more. I think we need to get them more resources. Certainly, I know that you as an educator didn't go in for the money, but it sure would be nice to be paid more, and you should be paid more, because the reality of it is you're training the next generation. So yeah, this one stinks across the board. No fault other than society's fault. Maybe we can change that ship a little bit. One more. This is fun. Okay, I'm finally had a little bit more fun. So let's do the last one here. Turns out my school director has been using our classroom phone intercoms to secretly eavesdrop on our classrooms and on personal conversations. The staff were having. She was caught red-handed listening and she claimed she was just waiting to speak because she didn't want to interrupt the conversation. I hope they reported this up, and I hope that what was the title of this person? The school director got canned. Okay, I hope they got canned, and that's clearly for the teachers on this one. So hey, here's what we got right now. We got 7 points for the teachers. And for leadership, I didn't know this was going to be about leadership. I thought it was going to be more about parents, but 5 points for them. So teachers win this round. Teachers win today. And I'll do some more of these response videos. They kind of make me sad a little bit, but some of them, we got to address the issue. So, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep fighting for our teachers. All right.